right, guys, I'm live. So this is Becky. Hello. Um, I'm coming on today to do some decorating on the little gingerbread card ornaments. These are just using some recycled chipboard from packaging. These came from something, probably a paper pad or something. It's a little thicker than the cardboard and the cat food dividers, but hi, Crafty Kitty. Hi, Brittany. Yeah, Tippy's here with me. He's telling me how cold it is and that he's unsatisfied with the cheap Aldi brand canned cat food, and he wants Fancy Feast again, right? Yeah, I know. And I don't really care for it either because it stinks compared to the Fancy Feast. The Fancy Feast kind of smells like real human food, and this stuff stinks. So, yeah, honey, you're going to have to get down. Oh, don't you heave on my table. That would be gross. Nobody wants to see that. So if you are in the Phibbsville group, this was my original piece that I scanned in to share with you guys. And what happens when you print it off, it comes out a little bit smaller. I'm going to cut one of these out just to show you how much smaller it does. Tippy, this is just really hard to do with you here. Why don't you go lay down somewhere else, honey? Why don't you lay right behind me so I can do stuff? Mama loves you, but you're in the way. Okay? Here's your bed. And I'm going to be right here talking, and you can hear me. So you are fine. And I have the tea kettle going because I want some more green tea. We went to get Chinese for lunch, and I got a cup of green tea. And I wanted more, but Scott needed to get, back here so he could go to work. So I said, well, I can just make some when I get to the house. I'll just make a big cup of it. So I'm waiting on the water to boil. So if you print this off from what's on the group, this is how much smaller it is. Looks like about a ½ inch shorter, a quarter inch shorter. Like here's the top and the bottom, like that. So it's a little bit smaller. Now, if you wanted to adjust your print size, maybe it would print off the full size for you. But if this is all you can manage to get printed, this is fine. I do have the original measurements of what you have to do. This is a 2½ inch square. And then from the center of the 2½ inch square to the top up here is 1½ inches for the roof. And then you do from the center line here, you come over a ½ inch from each side, lay something from that mark over to where the roof starts, draw you a line and cut that off on both sides. And that will give you the same exact size as what's here if you use these measurements. But it's not necessary. If this is all you can get printed off, do it and then just cut it out and glue it to a piece of the chipboard. Let's see. This one is something like this. So see, it's that much smaller. I'm going to go ahead with the ones I've already cut out. But I was letting you guys know that it's fine to use whatever you can get printed off, as long as it's somewhere, about the same size of these. So hi, Mary. Hi, Kendra. Hi, Holly. Yeah, Tippy's being kind of obnoxious today. Hi, Lori. Hi, Susan. Thought I saw Sharon in here. Hi, Sharon. I think that's everybody. Kendra. Yeah, Fancy Feast. I'm going to have to get some Fancy Feast. The thing is, these cats hate the ocean whitefish, and they don't really care for the salmon much. So I have to, and they don't like grilled or the tender bits. They want just a glob of cat food, the pate. If I get any of the others, they lick all the gravy off and then push all those little pieces off the plate. And I end up giving all that to Spot, which I'm sure Spot out on the porch loves it, but I can't afford that. So I just get them glob form. All right. So I think I've said hello to everybody. Hi, Holly. Yeah, the mixed grill, we get that one. That's one we get. We get the mixed grill. They like the one that's got liver in it. It's in a brown label. I know the colors of the labels that I have to buy. And the last time I got Fancy Feast, it was cheaper at Publix than it was anywhere else since I refuse to go to Walmart anymore. So anyway, hi, Deborah. All right. All right, so I've got a various different roof lines. You guys do whatever you want. If you want to add chimneys, if you don't want chimneys, you don't have to have chimneys. You can do some plain ones. I got, 3 that are just plain. And then these 2 are side views. And then this one's a front view. And I just added a chimney. So it's entirely up to you guys on what you want to do. And I think I'm going to start with the 3 that are front on. And then we'll see what time it is. What I'm going to do is, since I have mine cut in the cardboard, I'm going to, I think I'm going to paint these. I'm just going to paint them with the paint and hope it's good enough. I thought about gessoing them, but I think I've changed my mind. I'm just going to paint them a gingerbread color. And then once it's dry, we'll start doing stuff. And I'm going to paint the back as well. So I'm going to paint both sides. Let me grab some browns here. Get some fresh water. I think I'll just use this. Try to get all this Craft Smart paint used up. All right, there's that. So I've got a chocolate brown and a golden brown. And I think somewhere I'm going to mix them so I get an in-between and go from there. I'm going to grab my tea real quick since the water's just about out of boil. I put a plate over the top of my tea while it's steeping. Can't see it there. There we go. We'll just set that over there. That way I won't accidentally stick a brush in there. So, let's see. So I don't know who all has signed up on the Fibsville, but I think we're going to have a pretty good turnout. I agree with you, Kendra. Yeah, I saw the pumpkin snickerdoodle recipe. If they had people at every register working, people would be employed and nobody would have to wait all those long lines. And I don't work for them. I'm not getting paid to check myself out. I don't get a discount for checking myself out. And then they're going to check me at the door? No, I don't think so. But that's me. Go ahead, Tip. You're the one that wanted to go outside. What he actually wants is for me to be in the recliner holding him. And that's it. So anyway, I'm not going to go off on anything. Hi, Barb. I liked Walmart a whole lot better when it was they sold American only goods, you know, when Sam was still alive, Sam Walton, when he was still alive and all their products were American made. Now there's not a thing in there that's American made. It's all made in China. It's all made cheaply. Walmart's one of those things that I'm like Mary, I'll go off on a tirade on Walmart. I just can't do it anymore. What's bad is one of my younger sisters that I don't see ever anymore. Her life's gone in a different direction, but she works at Walmart. So some of my family works for them, but I can't abide by it. Their policies drive me nuts. I'm just going to paint one side, set it aside, and then come back and paint the other side. And you can see I'm not taking a great amount of time getting paint on here. I'm using a big brush. I'm spreading lots of paint quickly. And each ornament will be slightly different. And this is that cheap thin paint from Michael's. So I'll probably have to actually put a second coat on to cover my pencil marks on these. And this is getting chunky and gross and it needs to be used up. And brown's not one of those colors I would typically pick to use on a jelly plate. So might as well use them up in a project like this. I'm going to go ahead and paint all of my pieces I have cut out. I'm not going to need all of these, unless I have to participate in two groups, which I can do if I have to. See how chunky that is? That one brown has really got a lot of chunks in it. And when I was working retail and having to run a register, there was no way I was going to check myself out either. It's like, look, I don't work for you. I'm sick of checking people out, even myself. Somebody else can check me out. Yeah. Well, you were lucky, Lori, to find anything American made in there anymore. Let's get these goobers out of here. Goobers. And remember, we made that list of all the different things that we could add to our houses last week when I was talking about doing this. I think it wasn't it last week, or was it the week before? Everything's kind of running together. But those are just suggestions. If you have something else in mind that you'd like to, make it look like it, we're not necessarily going to add those actual items, but if you have a way to add something that kind of looks like candy that we haven't listed, you can. Ew, look at that. Grody. Yeah, it's time for this to get used up. If you don't use your paint, it gets gloppy and gross. That's got a big old blob there. Scott's not feeling good. He didn't want to go to work today. He was shaking after we ate. I told him, I said, I'm not really happy that you're driving to work right now. I'll be fine. He was up and down with the cats a lot last night, but we noticed we've got some new strays hanging about that haven't been coming around here, and that puts them all on watch. Callie's been doing extra patrols. So just get a base color on there, and then we can work from there. And if you don't want to paint, if you want to use just scraps of paper, you can do that too. I just figured if I got the base coat on these, I'd be ahead. You can see I got some adhesive on this. And I know these look like just squares right now, or rectangles. All right, we'll go back over here. Ugh, gross. Wish I had something to pull this glob out of here. Now I've probably got 7 times the amount of paint out that I need. And let's get a poker thing, and I'll pull these globs out of here. Put it in the trash can. Yeah, this paint, it's time for it to go. I didn't know if, ooh, look at that. I got it on my sweater. Oh, well. Don't tell me you were wearing that when you were doing art. How could you tell? Oh, well. This can be my art sweater now. I see the chat going by quickly here. Yeah, if you go to the file section on Fibsville, the pattern sheet that you can print the pattern off is in there, and the whole list of things that we came up with last week is in there. And you can just print that off and use it as just a guideline. But if you want to decorate yours in some other way, you can. You can use lace, you can use trims, anything you think you might like to do, go for it. It'll be your ornament. It'll be a very special gift to whoever receives it. This would be a fun project to do with kids over the holidays. Just have a bunch of houses cut out. I would just, if it was little kids, I would cut just this shape out for little kids to do, and then they could add a door and maybe some windows, and they could give those to grandparents or their parents for Christmas. I see there's another slug in that pile. I got to pull it out. Of course, if you want to decorate both sides of yours, you can, front and back. But I was just thinking on the back, we could put our name, our YouTube channel, and then just maybe our city and state, not the street address. And then perhaps the date on the back. Or you might want to put a Fibsville swap 2019 or something like that. Just so we can remember, when we got them. This part's kind of boring, just sitting here watching me spread brown paint, but it is part of the process. You got to get a base down there. Let's see if I can work some of these goobers out of here. I want to go to Whole Foods at some point on the other side of Greenville. I think it would be cheaper for me to buy seeds and nuts over there by the pound in bulk. I don't think anybody on this side of town sells bulk. I still haven't been by that place. It's not too far, though. They might have bulk sets options. I guess I should check there first. And that would be supporting a local business, which I'm all about if I can. There's a goober right there. No goobers. All right. This is just full of goobers. Let's see, I'll start here and work my way around again. If you don't want to paint the back, the gingerbread color, you can choose a different color. I just thought black handwriting would work on here. And because the fronts aren't still 100% dry, I'm just going to stand this up against my tripod so they can dry a little bit more. Hi, Danina. Vicki was talking about how hard it is to catch everybody's lives since everybody's doing more lives now, and it is. It's hard to catch up with everybody. I was watching Peg and Shell C's the journal a day thing that they've been doing on smaller journal page. I think Shell's been doing index cards in a little journal she made up, and I think it's just recycled mail that she's using. But she had a couple really pretty pages because she was doing a catch up. She did 2 at once, and then Peg did a page using some, I think they're called Prisma brush tip markers, which I've not seen yet. So I'm so out of the loop of buying new things. I'm still excited about the things that came out a while ago. Hi, Sandra Miranda and Who else is here? Hi, Samantha Owens. Yeah, it's time for this paint to go to the trash. And I'm globbing my brush up really badly. You guys won't believe this. This morning, I was sitting here having my coffee, and Howie came over and wanted in my lap, and he stuck his head in my coffee and started drinking it. I didn't know cats would do that. And then I got worried that it would make him sick. And I told Scott, I said, you got to look at this cat. He's over here drinking coffee. So I had to go rinse my cup out, get some fresh coffee. Oh, it was just unreal. I've never seen the other two just kind of stick their nose toward it and then fold their ears back and run off. But not Howard. Scott said it's because he's a business cat. We joke about how he acts when he wants to go out and he's urgent about it. He'll run out like, doggone it, you've made me late for my meeting. And he stomps off across the yard. Each of these cats has their very own personality. That's for sure. I took Bernadette out and played hard with her. Let her run around and made her run and run and run. But not run with her. Just let her run out and then call her back. I've got one of those retractable leashes so she can go a ways and then come back. And I just go to an open area on the lawn so that she doesn't run into anything. Because for anybody that doesn't know, my dog is nearly blind. That's why she can't go out at night by herself, because all I've got is that little playpen out there, and it's like a 36-inch circle that she can just sit in. She can roll around and act like a goofball in it, but it's not something where she will go to the bathroom. She won't go to the bathroom inside her playpen. You have to take her outside the playpen before she'll go to the bathroom. Oh, who all else we got here? We got a full house. Welcome, everybody. And I'm just yakking my head off. Hi, Tanya. I saw you pop in. So, yeah. It's 3:00 in the afternoon, Danita, for me. Hi, Dawn Boss. If I missed you coming in, I'm sorry. Your cat Sable tries to drink Diet Pepsi. Crazy things. Okay, Tanya, thanks for stopping in. Bernadette is about 13 years old. She was about 3 years old when we found her in the woods. Somebody had dumped her. And I think the reason she got dumped is somebody treated her like a baby. And then when her behavior was bad and she wouldn't mind, which she still doesn't mind, but she's 13 years old, they just got fed up with her and dumped her. She's got bad habits about jumping on strangers and that kind of thing. And she's just, her behavior's not the best. And she likes to be toted around like a baby. I'll throw that in the water. And then we got to do something with this mess. What can we do with this pile of basically poo? I think I'm just going to get a scraper and scrape it into the trash because it's that disgusting. Ow. Ew. Oh, gosh. So gross. All right. Don't you love it when the power company sends you this thing about how your house isn't as economical as your neighbor's, and they're comparing a house built in the 1940s to one that was built in 1965 to 1980 something. I'm beginning to think my cats have found a way to get under my neighbor's house, and that's not good. I'm watching one of them across the street. All right, now the fun can begin. We can start decorating. So, hi Gertie. I'm going to uncover my tea now that I'm done with that big paintbrush. Ooh, I forgot it's got steam on the bottom. That was exciting. I'll put this under the tea now. Sorry, guys. Oh, goodness. Oh. Well, Bernadette's a dog, and then we have three cats plus the spare cat out on the porch, Spot. And Spot has a dog's name, but Spot comes and goes, and I need to set him up and just get him neutered so he maybe stay put a little better. He's like from this year's abandonment. That's what our three cats are from the first year we were here, and Mama Cat abandoned them with us. They were like, she showed up and said, "Oh, look, I've got 3 kittens. They need a home." And then the next year, another cat came, and that cat's the reason Scott had to have the rabies vaccine. So I quit feeding her and shoot her off because she was just too violent to try to catch and get in. So I quit feeding on the porch, but I've been feeding Spot. And I try to feed him when he's there and then take the food away. But usually by the time I'm ready to go get the food, I have a possum and a raccoon out there trying to eat it up. I'm going to dry this one with a heat gun. So heat gun alert. We're going to start decorating one. I put a hole in the top of each one kind of toward the center so I can put some kind of lace, or not lace, but ribbon or something in there. So if you want to use scrap paper and cut shapes out and glue them down for your like doors and windows and such, you can do that. I got to thinking this morning, I have all of these decorative scissors sitting back here. What I could do for the snow on the roof is just cut a strip and glue it down. So I think I'm going to do that on this first one. And then the back will just be left blank, and that's where I'll put the information. So let me grab my scraps around here. We're just going to start cutting stuff out and gluing them down. If you want to use lace and ribbon, you can do that too. Whatever you have. Oh, loud noise. There's a spider built a huge web back there. I gotta do some cleaning, I think. Yeah, I've just got green tea. I've got this Uncle Lee's green tea. And I was just in the mood for it since we went for Chinese, and I had a cup of their jasmine tea. And I wanted more, like I said, and we had to get back here. Down at the house, Cole does that with water. So what I've had to do is put their water dish in our shower, in the master bedroom and bathroom. I have a shower back there. And what I do is I just put a tub of water back there. And I try to tell Greg, I said, you got to go back there and fill that up. Make sure they've got water every day. And that way, if he spills it, it just goes down the drain. I gave up trying to keep water in the kitchen next to their food dish. They have to hike for their water. It's pretty good, Susan. I like a plain green tea better, or orange pekoe or a black tea. But the jasmine tea, it tastes florally. I mean, it's got kind of a, a flowery taste and scent to it. Thanks, Janet. We got the second laptop. Okay, we got the FedEx lost the first laptop, and then the second one came, and then we've had this fiasco of Dell contacting Scott, telling him he had to send the original laptop back. And I kid you not, he was on the phone for almost an hour with like 3 or 4 different people saying, I can't send it back. FedEx lost it. And he went over and over that for so many times. And finally he said, give me a supervisor. And he just kept saying, give me a supervisor, give me a supervisor. And finally they got someone on there and he said, look, I want these emails to stop. I never received that computer. I have nothing to return to you because it never came. He said, you need to talk to FedEx. And finally he was able to hang up the phone, but I don't know if the email stopped or not. But we have a laptop here. Finally. Scott's been working on it. So this just looks like some heavy cardstock from trimming. And like I said, I've got so many different kinds of decorative things, decorative scissors. So if I just cut this about the width I want on the house, I'm just eyeballing here. We were sitting in the Chinese restaurant watching about the shooting at the South Carolina school. Oh, I just wish all these shootings would stop. Our kids should be able to go to school and not have to worry about being shot. They should, all their worry should be is getting good grades. This is ridiculous. Okay. And then see, I can glue this on and look, isn't that cute? I'm going to cut this at an angle. That should be a straight angle. Let me get a different pair of scissors. So remember, if we keep these nice and, flat with just papers added, you can mail it just in an envelope. And that was my whole idea, is this would be an inexpensive swap if we keep them flat. Hi, Mindy. So I'm hoping Dell will back off because and contact FedEx. I told Scott, I said, send them a copy of the letter from FedEx and tell them this is what they're going to have to do. I said, we can't send back or pay for something we did not receive. If you don't have decorative scissors, you could always just paint it to look like snow. I need a wet one. I had them here. Here we go. I'm making a conscious effort not to twist my knee today. And no running with the dog. Oh, someone's at the back door. No, the shooting was in California this morning. One person was killed, and they got the suspect in custody. Come on. A little heater's on in there if you want to go in there and lay down. It was Callie. I guess I should check the front, but I hadn't heard anybody knock out there. And I'm talking about cats knocking, not people. And then I'm just going to trim this off so it, is tight to the top. And I got one side of my roof done. I'm going to try to make it mimic it. So I'm trying to line up the same piece along here. So like the round scoop is there. I'm going to try to line up the same little section of the round scoop. Oh, you know what? I should have trimmed off the end first down here. That's close enough. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm out of shot. It's pretty close. And then we'll just take and put a piece across the top here. I'm going to cut back that way a little bit there. And let's see if that little piece will fit in between here. I guess they can overlap a little. I'm probably going to have to punch my hole again through the paper or raise this up above the hole a little bit and then trim my paper. I could do that. All right, I'm just going to put a little glue up here and try to get, let's smoosh that out a little bit. Smush, that's a word. Man, people are just flying by. Callie, lay down, honey. There we go. And I'll just trim the paper so it's even. Just a minute. Susan, see what I mean? I'm suffering with the same thing. In and out, in and out. They don't know whether they're coming or going. It's driving me crazy. Then we could put this across here and then trim that off. Let's put this across. Just a minute. You are not going to die if I don't come right when you need me. You annoying little thing. Chill out. Now, she says, now. You just came in. They want me to go get Fancy Feast. Don't you? You want mommy to go get Fancy Feast? Okay. So be as creative as you want to be with these. All right. I need something to make a door out of. Callie, Do you want to go outside? I'm just looking through scraps. Tub of scraps here. Something that looks a little bit Christmassy. Oh, Callie, please, honey. Do not come to the door again unless you're going to stay in. I did like my grandmother used to and pumped her tail, so maybe she'll stay gone for a little bit. Let me get a circle punch. Don't be afraid to use your punches either. Cut very straight. I'm just cutting a little rectangle. I wonder if I've got another piece of this in here. See, this is what I'm digging through. It's just this huge bag of stuff. I wish I had some scrapbook papers. That were red and white stripes. That would be cool. I'm trying to use some of these scraps. So that's tissue paper. That's solid scraps. Oh, come on. That's a project I started that I didn't finish. That's chipboard. This is scrapbook papers. All right, see, I've got like this. I've got this. That's Christmassy. And that's Christmassy. You need a box, Becky. I feel like a human cardboard box factory here. Thanks, Mindy. Yeah, they don't get it. And with those strays coming around, Callie is on like 7 times her normal patrol. That one I might could punch some candy striped circles out of. I'm just looking for the papers that look a little Christmassy real quick. Ooh, look here. This isn't Christmassy, but I could use the back side of it. That was stuff from the album the lady was doing for my mother-in-law. And then she got mad at me because I wasn't getting it done fast enough. Not my mother-in-law, but the lady. And it was like, you know, I'm taking my time. I'm trying to do a good job. My mother-in-law knows where I live. She can hunt me down. Ooh, look. I could cut out little gingerbread men and put them on front of my houses. So dig through your scraps. Don't cut into anything new. Goodness, we all have a pile of stuff. Look at, I could do strings of candy, popcorn. I could cut some trees out of that one. Don't be afraid to fussy cut. Let's see. I think I hit the mother load of Christmas papers. Oh, look. And if I wanted something quilty, I'm digging for the Christmas stuff. Oh, this has already got circles on it. And see, if you wanted to, you can paper piece your houses. And even though they're painted, you can still glue on them. There's another Christmas stripe. Just digging through here, grabbing the stuff that's Christmassy. And I think I've got enough. I can decorate all these houses out of here. All right. And then I can use the white for the snow bits. Put these back in there. And I think I like these better than just random pieces of painted paper. So I'm going to put all these back. I have a tub that I have things divided into the big Ziploc bags, but then they're inside a plastic tub or box that I can just push out the way and go for it. Worm brain. Yep. My mother-in-law has a laptop that the family bought her, but she doesn't get how much fun they can be. She gets on and looks at email from her church and looks at Facebook a little bit, but she doesn't explore anything else on it. We've given her links to my channel, so I don't know if she watches or not. But she has the opportunity where she can click and watch me if I'm live. The houses do not have to be all the same. They're all going to different people. So, you know, nobody's going to know you didn't make one exactly like everybody else. Just decorate them with what you have. They can be all different, like face-ons. They can be a side. They could be the back of it. They could have chimneys, no chimneys. Each house can be its own individual. Just think of a block of houses. They're none of them exactly alike unless they're townhomes, and somebody's insisting they are. But something like this, you can just go for it. I need a bigger circle than that, I think, to cut these out. I'm thinking of getting that one and putting it up there. I also have, this one might be too big. You know, you could stamp stuff on your houses if you don't have decorative paper. I could use this one. I thought I had a 1-inch without the scallops. If my hands would quit shaking long enough for me to get it punched, it would be good. We'll put that up there if we want to. What does this one do? This one does a great big circle, I think. That one's a little bit large. All right. So you do whatever you want to with yours. Let's see if I can do a smaller snowflake. I don't have another one. Oh. This one's just too big. Way too big. This one just, I can't use it for anything. So just keep playing until you come up with something you like. All right, I'm going to glue that. I think I would have done better with these if I practiced without you guys watching. And ta-da, they would have been perfect. But I think it's also important to be able to watch somebody that messes up some and learns from it so you can learn not to do it. Also, here's our cookie cutter houses. That's fine. Do y'all remember the movie that started black and white and then turned to color? I love that movie. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. What was the name of that movie? Why can't I remember it? No, A Beautiful Life or A Beautiful, I can't remember the name of it. I hate that when that happens to my brain. Let's use a piece of this. But what the movie starts off black and white. Pleasantville. That's it, Susan. That's it. Pleasantville. It starts out black and white, and then things happen, and there'll be like a tint of color come to the lady's cheeks, and then like things started turning color as they explored what it would be like outside the ideal black and white thing. Now I want to watch it. I'm gonna have to see if it's available to watch somewhere. Scott's been fighting fatigue really bad. I'm wondering when he goes back to the doctor. I wish he could come start seeing my doctor because I think she listens better than the one he's got. All right, and then I'm going to cut me another strip with the fancy scissors and trim my door out. Yes, color happens as emotions happen. Exactly. You know what? I should have added these to that before. It's all right. Let's see. And when they cry, their cheek turns to color. Aw, thanks, Janet. I didn't cut very straight. All right. I'm going to put some gingerbread on this here. We went to the discount grocery store not too far from the house after we had the Chinese food. It's next door to that China Stars where we go. And I found some mincemeat in a box. I'd never seen it like that before. I've always bought mincemeat in jars. And this came in a box, but they only had the one box. I told Scott, I said, I can get it and make you a very small pie. Because, see, I don't like mincemeat. Isn't that funny? And it was only 99 cents. And a jar of mincemeat's a whole lot more expensive than that. So we picked that up. And then I told him, I said, you know what I could do is just make some mincemeat thumbprint cookies and put mincemeat in the thumbprint cookies, and he could take those to work. See, next Wednesday, I have to make ham salad sandwiches, which I'll make them into finger sandwiches, you know, that they can just pick up and eat. And then I'm going to make an apple pie and a pumpkin pie. And I thought I could do a little cookie tray too and send that in. I miss baking. I used to bake when I worked at Michael's. I would bake up like 6 batches of cookies, and I'd take in 2 huge, one of those where you cook a turkey, big things, roasting pans. I would make that many cookies and take them in and just drop them in the break room, and they would be on them like it's kind of funny. Like piranha. I'm going to mark this with a pencil so I know where to put it. I'm going to mark it right there. And then right there. And some of the ones I would make every year were my sugar cookies, which they were just drop and then, you know, flatten them with a greased drinking glass. And I would make chocolate oatmeal no bake cookies because they were easy to do. You don't have to bake them. You cook them on the stove top, drop them on wax paper, and then you're done. And I would make snickerdoodles, and Lonnie's favorite gentleman that worked there, he said, Becky, when you do this, it makes me think of my mama. And he was 60-something years old. He said, this just brings back so many memories when you bring these trays in. Made me cry. I said, Lonnie, you're making me cry. He said, I don't mean to, Miss Becky. He was such a sweet man. I need to look out front because I hear a hawk screaming like it's got something. Let me go. Go on. Go on. Go on. I thought you were right on the tree. Go on. It was right in the tree out front. I'm glad I went out there and scared it off. Sorry. But they will take a cat if they can. Rotten beasties. Anyway. And I would make the oatmeal cookies, chocolate chip cookies sometimes. Oh, and another thing they absolutely adored were the, you melt the chocolate candies. You know, you get them in a bag, the Wilton chocolates. Melt those and dip them in pretzels and then dip them in sprinkles. You'd think I'd made something out of this world or something. I'm going to try to match the curve on that. You know what, Becky? Come on, get smart. Now, this way? Maybe that'll match the curve. I think I will need to go the opposite way. I need to cut from the opposite direction so that the curve is going this way. So when I set this down, it'll match. That's pretty close, except I'm not straight. I need to not be picky. I shouldn't be taking this long for the first one. They shouldn't take this long. I'm sitting here trying to think, what can I use for little ornamentations now? I've got the frosting. This is frosting. Now I need stuff to push into the frosting. Does that make sense? That was a huge hawk, too. What did Sue say? Well, we're going to have just a quiet Thanksgiving this year because my in-laws are all going, I think, to Tennessee. And we just want to have a quiet, just the three of us kind of Thanksgiving, maybe with Greg's new girlfriend. We'll see. I think the kitties will be okay. Usually they run and hide when there's a hawk about. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the page because this is so crooked. That about meets really well. I think I'm going to glue it down just like that. Aw, thanks. I have one neighbor lady across the way, and she has a whole bunch of boxes and stuff out on her carport / garage bit on her house, and it's just boxes of stuff. It's just kind of a pile of junked up mess. It's not organized or anything. It's just boxes and stuff. And my cats have been going over there, and I've been going to talk to her and ask her if she'd like me to help her clean that up because it's attracting mice. And that's the whole reason the cats are going over there. But I don't want to be offensive, you know. But I know she has physical limitations, and so does her daughter that lives there. So would you offer to help her or just ignore it? I just don't want her to get mice in her house. Because if they're coming for that, it's only one step away from being inside. All right. I'm going to add a little bit of dimension to mine. I have all these different little plasticky jewels that I got deep clearance. And let's see. This. I'm going to get the ones that are kind of white, kind of green, and kind of red. I wish I could find just a few more of these littler jars like this. And I'm going to use some of these, and I think I'll put them on with E6000 so that they'll stick. E6000. Oh, and I also have these magic scraps, and you can use glitter, and I have some glitter here on the table I'd like to use up. And you can use glitter glue. I've got this crystals, Fabric Art washable, sprinkle on wet glue or paint. The lid is broken on it, and that's why I want to use it up. So let's just add some dimension, and then I'll add a little glitter, and then we'll call this one done. These have some little flowery shapes. Those aren't what I want to use. It's these little guys. And I thought that would make a cute doorknob. There's marbles in there too. But it's the flat little guys that I was thinking about using. Let's see if we... This has got buttons, and you could use a heart on there if you wanted to. I'm just going to put these down here. I'll have to pick them back up. I thought there was some little flat red ones of those things, but maybe not. So maybe the red doesn't have any of those. But I have sequins. I could use sequins too. Let's see here. Old buttons. These are little green. I'm trying to get them out. Whoa. Let's see, these are the green ones. I think I have some in some of the other colors as well. I thought these would look more like Christmas lights. And see little buttons like that you could use for gems and things. Use your imaginations. This has even got some flattened out neon-y colored things. I don't know if I want to use them on here. Let's just get some of these out. I'm going to put the red back, keep the green, put the red back. I think I'll put the white back too, and I've got yellow, orange, and blue-green. Hang on. Oh, and purple. Blue-green. Uh-oh, something fell. I think I'm going to do like Lisa and start going through stuff and get rid of some things. I bought all these rubber stamps and now I don't use them, so I might as well give them to somebody that will. Look, it's got butterflies, but I don't want butterflies on my little house. See, I got these little flattened things. I thought these might not necessarily go with this one. I just keep saying, use your imagination. Use your imagination. There's some purple. There's more in there. I'm getting a few out. I don't want to do a bunch because then I'll have them in my way. This has got the orange and yellows. They're orangish and yellows. I've I've got metally pieces too. All right. I always try to do a placement before I start going too glue crazy on here. That one I didn't do too good at matching up the sides too good. I get quiet when I start thinking, and I feel like nobody's gonna hang around for me to be standing here. I'm taking too long thinking about it. I like the little trees. Bernadette. Bernadette, what you doing, Bernadette? Sometimes when I'm watching Mary, I need to take notes about things I want to talk to her about, because I was thinking about something last night watching her, and then I fell asleep and I forgot everything I wanted to talk about. finally I said, I'm heading to bed. Good night. So I have to sit sometimes with my foot up. And as soon as I'm in that recliner, I'm out. Sit and read, forget about it. That ain't happening. I'm just going to be out. I get in the recliner, it's over with. As Scott says, the recliner eats us. We get in the recliner, and it's just a done deal, gone. No, I'm good. I'm good. Let's see. Oh, last night though, I don't know how he got on my leg that's hurt, and I don't know what happened, but I went to try to roll over, and he was in such a position, it twisted my leg funny. Oh my gosh, I thought I was going to come right up off the bed. I told him, buddy, you can't lay right on that leg, dude. He just looked at me like, what? I was sound asleep, woman, and you woke me up. You know, how dare you wake me up? I took that picture of him last night all splayed out on the floor. Scott said he thinks at one point we had all 3 cats in the bed with us, and it's a full-size bed, so he said he was pretty wedged in. All right, so put that one there. Maybe this guy in front of it. And then I'll just trim the tree even. That's what I'll do. This one here. I don't know. I feel like I want something else around the edge, but for right now, I'm going to add these trees on here. See, I think I'm thinking about it entirely too much, and that I could have all that I needed to swap if I would just commit to something and put it down, but I want them to look good. So I keep auditioning things. That's the word I couldn't think of the other day. But you all feel free to go as crazy as you want with your ornaments. And just keep in mind, everybody has different abilities too. So nothing has to be like a complete work of art, Taj Mahal type thing, because we're all at different levels. And I just want people to have fun. And come up with some cute little ornaments that can be mailed easily. And I do need to put a doorknob on here. I think what I'm going to do is give it a doorknob. Maybe just a little greenish one, maybe. The doorknob's kind of overkill here. I'm going to use Are you talking about fruit cakes? I missed something. I'm trying to catch up and see what you guys are talking about, loaf pans. I have a video on my channel of making fruitcake with my mother-in-law, and it's just it was such a fun video to do together. I might share that on my group and in Phibbsville. And it's making her recipe for fruitcake. And she always would buy Four Roses whiskey or bourbon, whatever. Guess it's the same thing, right? You got to be able to get in the house, right? I'm trying to get some of this dried on E6000. It's not wanting to come out. And, now that I've squeezed it, you know how these things do. It'll start oozing, and I'll have E6000 all over the house. Let's see here. There's a reason why it's not doing. It's probably got a booger down in there. My sister had a tube of E6000 in her classroom, and she just had a box of pins, and when she wanted to use it, she would just jab another pin into the side of the tube because it got where she couldn't get the cap off. She didn't want to waste the E6000, so she would just jab another pin in it and just leave the pin in there. After she was done, she would stick the pin back in the hole, and it would get glued back in there. My sister's an art teacher. She's looking at knee replacement too, you guys. So keep her in your thoughts. And now what I think I'm going to do is just get some glitter glue and put it on all of my my white snow frosting stuff. Let me see. Did you bring the mail? No? She says, do you think my paws can grab the mail? She's probably thinking, have you been and got Fancy Feast? She's gone to check. Let me get... Glitter glues are another one of those things where I've got some that have just a little bit in them, and I need to do like Mary and just cut the things apart and just scoop out what's in there and just use it. Whatever I can't get used in one sitting, just let it go. I ordered some stuff from wish.com. I've never ordered from them before. It ought to be interesting. I've heard it's kind of a real toss of the dice as far as quality, because a lot of it comes straight from China. But I figured for a couple dollars here and there, I would give it a go and see what I get. I might regret it. See, a little bit of glitter just makes everything so nice. And this will dry kind of flat, and I'm going to set it off to the side to dry. I almost feel like it needs something up here as well, but then I don't want to be too over the top with it. What do y'all think? Should I add something else? Maybe I'll add a word up there like Merry Christmas. After this is dry, I could print off a Merry Christmas and put it up there like a sign. Let's stick my finger in it. Are you going to get in your chair and be a good girl? She has a chair next to me with a towel in it that she likes to lay in. It's got a heating vent right behind it. So she gets all toasty and warm. This weather makes me think of Christmas carols. Kind of miss decorating for Christmas. There's really not a lot of room here at the cottage, so I haven't been putting a tree up or anything here. And we put a tree up for Greg down at the house, and he and the cats get to enjoy it. But with that little pocket panther that Greg saved, I don't think a Christmas tree will be safe with her. Sally. Oh my. That's a cat I'll trade you. Greg might get upset with me, but Susan, I'd send you Sally. We call her a pocket panther because she's fast as lightning, and she looks just exactly like a panther. Let's put a few little dots on our Christmas trees here. Give it a little bit of, make it look like it's got icicles on it here and there. Maybe Scott will get up in time that he and I can go to the Whole Foods tomorrow. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do for the next couple is I might go searching my stash for like narrow little laces and things like that. So each one will be slightly different, but the ones I send out will, once I find one that I really like the technique of doing it. I mean, this is cute, but I'm thinking how cute different laces would be. And if I keep it to the flat laces, that wouldn't be too bad. To mail, I'm thinking. And rickrack would be cute too. You know, red or green rickrack or gold rickrack. I think I might have some gold rickrack. What time is it anyway? It's 4:00. Vicky will be coming on shortly, and I don't want to stay on into hers because I like to put her on and just watch and listen as I'm cleaning and doing around here. So I think I might wrap this up for today, and maybe we'll get together and do another session of decorating these. Maybe we should do a couple sessions of decorating, and then that way at least you'd have, if I do 2 more sessions, you'd have 3 decorated together with me. So maybe we'll do one during our next Wednesday and then do one on next Thursday, and that'll give us 3. Would that work for you guys? Yeah, I could come in here with my Sharpie and actually make it look like boards too. After this dries, I might do that to make it look like slats of wood. That was a good idea. Thanks, Susan. That would be good. Oh, thank you, Danina, for coming by and hanging with us today. I'm trying to do Wednesdays and Thursdays at about 2:30, 3 o'clock to about 4 to 5, depending on the day. All right. So thank you guys for hanging around with me. I need to move this, but I can't get my fingers under it because I want to move it to where the cats can't get on it. So I'll do that. Ah! Or not. Where have I not got? There we go. All right, guys. There's our little house we did together today. And like I said, keep it simple. Doesn't have to be, real elaborate and heavy. Okay. Bye, guys. I'll see you later.